Have you ever wondered where the idea of a university came from? A place where brilliant minds gather, where knowledge is not just stored but created, debated, and passed down through generations? Most of us might think of Oxford or Bologna or perhaps ancient Greece, but what if I told you that the cradle of higher learning, the world's very first residential university, blossomed in ancient India over 2,700 years ago? Get ready to have your mind blown, because today we're traveling back in time to the legendary city of Takshashila, or as you might know it, Takshila. Nestled in what is now modern-day Pakistan, Takshashila was more than just a city. It was the intellectual capital of the ancient world. Imagine a bustling metropolis, a crossroads of cultures and commerce, where the greatest treasure was not gold or spices but knowledge itself. Established around 700 BCE, Takshashila wasn't a university in the structured way we see today, with a formal curriculum and degrees. It was something far more organic and profound. It was a confederation of brilliant teachers, each a master in their own right, who attracted students from all corners of the known world. We're talking about students traveling from as far as Babylon, Greece, Syria, and China, undertaking perilous journeys that could take months, all for the chance to learn at the feet of these legendary gurus. So, what did they study? Pretty much everything. The curriculum at Takshashila was incredibly diverse. You could study the Vedas, the sacred texts of Hinduism, delve into philosophy, grammar, and literature. If you were more scientifically inclined, you could become an expert in medicine, surgery, or astronomy. For those with a strategic mind, there was politics, warfare, and archery. And for the artistically gifted, there was music, dance, and painting. It was a comprehensive education designed to shape not just a professional, but a complete, well-rounded individual. In total, more than 68 different subjects were taught. Think of it as the ultimate liberal arts education, but thousands of years ago. One of the most famous figures associated with Takshashila is the brilliant strategist and political philosopher, Chanakya, also known as Kautilya. He was both a student and a teacher here. It was within these hallowed grounds that he mentored a young Chandragupta Maurya, shaping him into the man who would go on to establish the mighty Mauryan Empire, one of the largest empires of its time. Chanakya's masterpiece, the Arthashastra, a timeless treatise on statecraft, economic policy, and military strategy, was born from the intellectual ferment of Takshashila. It's a text still studied by leaders and scholars worldwide, and it all started right here. Another giant of history who walked these halls was Karaka, often called the father of Indian medicine. He compiled his foundational text on Ayurveda, the Karaka Samhita, at Takshashila. This wasn't just a book of remedies, it was a holistic system of health, covering everything from diagnosis and anatomy to ethics and diet. He detailed concepts of digestion, metabolism, and immunity that are strikingly advanced for his time. Surgeons at Takshashila were renowned for performing complex procedures, including what we would now call plastic surgery and even brain surgery. The knowledge that emanated from this one place has healed millions over millennia. And let's not forget Panini, the genius grammarian. His work, the Ashtadhyayi, is a linguistic masterpiece that lays out the complete and almost mathematically perfect rules of Sanskrit grammar. It is so precise and comprehensive that it has been compared to a modern computer's machine language. Linguists today are still in awe of Panini's intellect, and his groundbreaking work was a product of the scholarly environment of Takshashila. How did the teaching work? It was a deeply personal system. Students would choose a teacher, or guru, and live with them in a gurukul setting. The admission process itself was rigorous. A student had to be at least 16 years old and demonstrate a genuine thirst for knowledge. There was no fixed fee. Students paid what they could at the end of their education, a practice called guru dakshina. This ensured that learning was accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial background, as long as they had the merit and dedication. The bond between teacher and student was sacred, built on respect, discipline, and a shared passion for truth. The influence of Takshashila was immense. It acted as a beacon of knowledge, attracting the best minds and then sending them back out into the world as ambassadors of wisdom. For nearly 1,000 years, it was the epicenter of intellectual and cultural exchange in Asia. The philosophies, sciences, and arts that flourished here spread along the Silk Road, influencing cultures from the Mediterranean to the Far East. So, what happened to this incredible institution? Like all great empires and cities of the ancient world, Takshashila's fortunes eventually declined. It faced a series of invasions, starting with the Huns in the 5th century CE, which led to its eventual destruction and abandonment. The vibrant city of scholars fell into ruin, and its legacy was buried under layers of earth and time. For centuries, Takshashila was just a legend, a name whispered in ancient texts. It wasn't until the 19th century that archaeologists, led by Sir Alexander Cunningham, rediscovered the site and began to unearth its forgotten glory. Excavations revealed a vast complex of monasteries, stupas, and city ruins, confirming the accounts from ancient sources. Today, the ruins of Takshashila are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a silent testament to a glorious past. Standing there, you can almost hear the echoes of ancient chants, the passionate debates of scholars, and the footsteps of students who traveled across the world in pursuit of enlightenment. While Takshashila might be the first, it wasn't the last. Its spirit gave rise to other great centers of learning in India, like the famous Nalanda University, which we'll have to cover in another video. These institutions were the torchbearers of knowledge in a world that was, in many places, descending into the Dark Ages. They preserved, refined, and expanded human understanding across countless fields. The story of Takshashila is more than just a historical fact. It's a powerful reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is a universal and timeless human endeavor. It reminds us that education is the most powerful tool we have to shape our world, to build empires, to heal the sick, and to understand our place in the cosmos. The legacy of those ancient gurus and their dedicated students lives on in every school, every library, and every university today. They laid the foundation upon which our modern world of learning is built. So the next time you think about the history of education, remember the bustling, brilliant city of Takshashila. Remember the land that gave the world not just the concept of zero, but also the very first blueprint for a university. It's a piece of history we can all be inspired by. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the amazing stories our history holds. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.